an exiled family that now produces traditional Syrian bread and pastries in South Africa.
You're welcome anytime.
You were born in Damascus, one of the oldest cities in the world. What memories do you have of the role that bread played then?
In Syria in general and Damascus in particular, we are living shoulder to shoulder, all multi-religions and mosque next to the church. And when we go to collect the bread every day, we just stand in queue, talking to people like friends and brothers. And this is how we take the bread in Syria.
Why did you decide to settle in South Africa?
When the war started in Syria, I was there for the first 4 years, trying to help and give bread and give everybody support to the civilian area and working, of course, not presenting the government, presenting my country, where is the poor area. Then my sons moved to here.
After the ingredients are mixed and the dough divided, it must rest on the conveyor belt for 6 minutes. After that, the dough is flattened and must rest again for another 10 to 15 minutes, depending what kind of bread is being made. Do you use strictly Syrian recipes, or do you perhaps add any traditional South African ingredients?
It's strictly the original Syrian recipe. And even when we try to make the local bread, we switch it to our recipe, the pita bread and the rye bread. It's 100% Syrian recipe.
You use modern technology. Don't you lose the traditional approach because of that?
When we selected and designed the machines, it doesn't change anything from the old way. It's just make it bigger in number. And when we decided to have 5,500 pieces per hour, we know the market will take it, but it will take little time. We are trying our best to let the people believe in original bread, which is, they call it brown, but it's not brown. This is the original, the whole wheat bread.
This oven is between 500 degrees and 600 degrees Celsius, and it can bake 5,500 breads per hour. Why does bread play such a big role throughout the Middle East?
This is the only item you have to find on each table in Damascus or in Arabic country in general. This is, I can confirm to you, it's 10,000 years old. Maybe we have a different kind of foods, but they eat the bread like half of the food is bread.
How affordable is bread in Syria?
Bread in Syria, I can assure you, until now, the cheapest in the world. Because there is two items the government supports for the last 30 years and never increase, the bread and the fuel. Because they said, the president, Hafiz Assad before, he said those two items supporting the poor people.
How did the war affect the supply of bread in Syria?
A lot of bakery attacked by those terrorists, and I don't understand why. Because the bread, it's supporting the civilian and the children and the old people. And when the government trying to send any support or convoy of flours to certain area, they attack the convoy and take it and sell it in very high price and let the people suffer looking for bread.
The warm baked bread then travels on a conveyor belt of 54 meters, allowing it to cool down, ready for packaging. How many people does the bakery employ, and how productive is it?
We have about 25 laborers, and we have 5 experts coming from abroad. And those people, by the way, they are not all doing bread, because the bread we start 4 o'clock in the morning, early morning, because most of the people and client, they need it early at 7, between 7 and 8. Then after they finish the bread, they go to the sweet sections to help.
Why did you decide to also bring in pastries?
We need to show the people the original of baklava and other stuff, which is sometimes they call it from Turkey, sometimes from Greek. But the original of the sweets and the other stuff, it's coming from Damascus itself.
Let's see what it tastes like. Lekker.
People, you know, when they are talking about South Africa, especially the local, and they said the business is a little bit difficult or the safety or whatever, I can tell you and I can assure you, still South Africa is one of the best country as the safety and a business. Yes, if you compare to the Middle East, if you compare to the European countries, I can tell you 100% still South Africa in the front. But I think there is a lot of things have to do and to move and to do with the government to make it a little bit more easier for investors.